look at a prone twist. This is again another one of my favourite postures from the restorative canon. The setup is very easy, but we have a number of options that we can play with. First of all, we can look at using the setup that we have used many times before, using 2 bricks and then placing the bricks at different heights so we create that natural gradient for the bolster to rest on top of. Second variation we can touch on is maybe having use of additional bolsters or additional firm cushions that we can stack one on top of another. Here, similar to many of the restorative postures, the greater height, the more support that we're going to feel, the kinder it's going to be on the hips, the knees, the ankles, but also on the curvature of the spine. Once we have our bolster set up, we're going to choose to use 2 blankets. The first blanket we're going to take into our long rectangular fold. So from our large rectangular fold, we fold a further time. We smooth out any of the wrinkles. This is going to be placed between the legs, just so we can, again, limit the amount of discomfort of the bony prominences resting against one another. The second blanket, let me unravel, is going to be similar to, as we have many times before, and we're going to take the long rectangular fold, fold it a further time, and it's going to create just an extra bit of height and cushioning, similar to a pillow, just to elevate the head so we feel less stretch of the neck. Here I'm going to lead with the right hand side, so I've got my right hip right up against the bolster. That means that as I come to the twist, I can feel that twist across the torso, and then as I begin to lower down, my stomach can start to rest onto the bolster and I feel fully supported as I turn my head to the left and then relax into the pose. Things just to mention here, once again, the height of the props, the bolsters, is going to largely determine the degree of stretch that we are comfortable feeling. The lower they are, the more curvature that's going to be required of the spine, potentially the more pressure that is going to be placed around the stomach and the navel area. As with all of our forward folding supportive postures, we need to be mindful of the degree of sensation that we're happy with in and around the abdominal area, the lower abdomen area. Sometimes that can be really supportive and comforting. It gives us something to breathe into, something to invest our awareness in. At other times it can feel quite uncomfortable, and that might be where we choose different types of props, softer cushions and pillows, or even manoeuvring the bolster to such a degree where the beams aren't all congregating at the bottom to put that extra pressure on the stomach. Other really important points to touch on are the availability of the awareness of the breath. When we're in this twisted position, it's often much easier to navigate the mind with the breath. We're going to feel the breath in the back of the body as the ribcage expands. We're going to feel the breath more across the transverse planes of the body, the waist area, the lower ribcage area. And we're also, again, going to feel the breath where we normally would be directed to, the chest area. And so, both as students and teachers, the ability to draw the awareness to specific parts of the body keeps us present and engaged with the practice. Not necessarily controlling the mind, but definitely directing our awareness to each individual experience that's available to us. Let's vary these options, maybe see what it feels like to use 2 bricks, or again bring in other props, and let's use maybe some softer cushions or firmer pillows, and the things that are available to you that you are going to be able to bring into your practice and the practice you share with others.